Good morning, I'm Lynn, and welcome to the next episode at Ewetopia Farms. We're going to go through the chores quickly this morning because Arnie's got to bring hay in from the fields, and that'll be the end of our haying.
It looks pretty good, actually. Kind of cool.
Don't poke him in the eye. Hey, Hilton. You're very nice. So Arnie just came back from that field on the highway and brought the last of the round bales back. So we'll stick them into the lean-to, and he's off that highway until second cut now. And after we finish chores here, he's gonna head back to the farm next door. That's the farm next door from this angle. So with the sheep today, it's going to be all about keeping them calm, quiet. They're going to stay indoors. It's extremely hot today. We're going through a heat wave, as is, I believe, all the United States and the UK. And I imagine if the UK's got a heat wave, so does the rest of Europe. So we're all hot right now, and the sheep don't do well in the heat. So it's about making sure my drinkers are extremely clean today so that they hydrate. We have white tarps here, but it creates a shade in the barns so they don't have to deal with the blaring sun beating down on them. And they just got to tough it out for a while. They're going to have nice fresh hay served to them, and pretty well everybody's sheared except for a few of the lambs, so everybody should be okay that way. But it is a time of year where we watch them carefully, because in the winter they have woolly coats to keep them warm, but in the summer there's really not too many ways to keep them cool. Hi, sweetheart. So here I am with one of my Suffolk ewes. She's the one that was really friendly during shearing. Remember, she hung around with me the whole time. But she's a buddy of mine, and she's just relaxing today. And as I touch her, you can just feel the heat coming off them. It's very hot, but nobody's panting with their mouth open or anything like that. So it's not critical or anything. But they definitely feel kind of like we do on these hot, muggy days. We want to just take it easy, have a nice siesta, and that's what she's doing here. And that's what they're all going to do today, because it's a hot one, right? It's really hot. It's really hot, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Yeah, you're a good girl, though. Oh, here comes someone else to have a look. Hi. How you doing? How you feeling today? A little toasty? Is it a little toasty out there? I know. It's really, really hot. I'm going to open the door because they might want to lay alongside the coverall. On the other side right now it'll be in sun, but this afternoon it's shady there, and it's kind of a dirt base, so it stays a little cooler. Sometimes they like that. Hi. Hi there. Hi. You're really, really nice. Yeah, you're really nice. Yes, you are. You came to be on YouTube. Oh, and here comes some more. Hi, girls. Hi. There. Switch it around so we can see them. Not on selfie mode. Hi. Hi, girls. One thing about when it's hot like this and they're not feeling rambunctious and stuff is what they do want is to be pet. They just want to take it easy, have a nice little rub down. Yeah, that's all you want, isn't it? Don't they have cool eyes? Hi. You're really nice. We got a whole bunch of adults here. Hi. Hi, how you doing? Hello. Here they all are. We got one here. She's kind of towering over us. And we got these ones. And they're all starting to lay down around me. It's just about being quiet today, isn't it? It's just about having a nice quiet day. Where's your ear so we can see that you have a nice ear? There it is. There it is. They kind of push right in, and then you have no room for anything. It's all right. Yeah, it's all right. You're kind of bossy. You're kind of bossy. You kind of dominate everything. Yeah. Very good girl. It's my crew right here. There they are. Hi. Oh, sweetie. I know. I think it's too hot too. We're just going to open this gate. The gates to the pasture are closed, and they might think they want to go out there, but this is just so they can wander in the yard. Sheep that are outside are by the scratch post. Everybody comes to get a little itch. If you can rig up a scratch post, I highly recommend it because the sheep really, really love these things. So we have John visiting right now, and Arnie's doing a sales barn run tomorrow, and we have 2 bought sheep there that Ryan bought that he hasn't picked up yet. And I thought, well, someone's here. 2 don't usually like to walk across the yard, so I thought with 3 it would be a little easier. So we hauled these 2 over to this barn to join the keeper rams because they're sold, and I didn't want Arnie to load them on the trailer for market tomorrow by mistake. So they're over here now. That's one of them, and the other one's beside them, but you can't see them. But they're safe. So we're out at the neighbor's farm baling the hay now. And the back part, we've given some of it to John here. And John has just moved into the neighborhood from Toronto. And he's doing small square bales. And he's got a real ancient girl here behind the tractor. And we've been watching him bale back there. See, Arnie's got all these round bales. And he's got his square bales back there. And he's been out there about the same amount of time. And I think he's got 3 square bales back there. Poor guy. But I assume that he might have problems here, so he's gonna probably come and get some help. Why? You can't, when you switch baler twine, you have to use the same brand.
Baler twines are different thickness, and the little finger that grabs the twine to tie it, if it's a little thickness, it will change it, and it has to be adjusted. There's a little set screw. It's really fine.
So the problem John's been having here is every second bale is not, the twine's not going around the bale and sealing it. So he just put in a new type of baler twine, and that's, Arnie figures that's what the problem is. So John has gone home to fix his baler, and he'll be back to do the square baling at the back of the farm here. And I'll go back with him and show you guys what the old-fashioned small square bales look like. And he's got really quite an old machine, so it's a lot of hands-on with his baler. And you all have seen how Arnie's baler works. I'm not sure what Corey has, but Corey's coming over too, because we told Corey that any hay that he can bale up in the next little while he can keep. So he should be here shortly with his baler, and he's gonna gather up a bunch. And so it's gonna be a win-win for everybody. Everybody's gonna get some extra hay out of this. and we're filled up. We can't store any more first cut, so rather than wrapping it or leaving it out, we figure it was better to give it to the neighbors who need it. So the loads are coming in. We got a lot of loads off here, but the goal is to finish the first cut hay today. This will be the very last of it. And then we're going to be concentrating on trying to catch up on all our sheep jobs, which we've really fallen behind on. I almost ran into you. So we've got a lot of hay here now again, and he still figures he's got 3 more loads in the field to do. And what happened, we thought John was going to take his half of the field, but his baler broke down and was not fixable, so he didn't take his half. And Corey came and baled a whole bunch. So he got some. John just got the few square bales he made yesterday, and we thought we might be a little short, so we took a few of the bales that Corey made for ourselves. We didn't take it without telling him. That was the deal. I think Corey got 80-some bales, so he's quite happy. But Corey has a newer baler than we have, and ours wraps with the string, so you can see Arnie's actually got 2 colored strings here. He's got a blue string and an orange string, but it wraps like every 6 inches or whatever. And Corey has a baler that wraps with a kind of a plastic mesh. So his bales look like this. You can see instead of strings, it's kind of like a webbing that goes right around the bale. So the bales will be a lot tighter with that kind of meshing than ours. You can see our bales look a little messy when you compare them to these. People like these mesh ones because they repel the water a bit better, and also they repel mice off them more too, because the problem when you store bales in these barns, where Arnie's putting this now, I'll go in there and show you in a minute, but inevitably, I don't know, mice like to chew the strings off. It's funny that they'd even think of doing that, but they do it constantly. So when you pick up a bale, it falls apart. Whereas these bales with the mesh would be, yeah, you'd have to have a really motivated mouse to get through all that. But, and I can see that the bale is slightly larger than ours, probably 5 inches on length and width, I would say, bigger, so might be a little harder for us to roll out, but we can always feed them to the rams in the round bale feeder. That's no problem. And for us, if we did wrap bales, the mesh would be hard too, because if it freezes a bit, it's really, really hard to pull the mesh off. But we did look into getting the adaptation put on our baler to put the mesh on, because we do have the mice problem. But the dealer said you may as well get a new baler if you're going to do that, because it was just too hard to retrofit, and a new baler just isn't justifiable. So we're going to stick with the old round baler. We're happy enough with it, but you can see the difference in the 2 types. So for now, Arnie's just stacking them up all outside. Not quite sure why he's not putting them in right away. Maybe he's worried that the rain's coming in, because he does have a whole bunch more loads to pick up and he probably wants to get them in the yard. I gotta move away from there because the dust coming off there is terrible. And I'm highly allergic to that stuff, and I just washed my hair, so if I have hay dust in my hair, it's going to be really bad. But I'm going to go in the barn where we stack the hay and show you what happens in there. So this is, I assume, where Arnie's going to put all that hay. What's in here is old hay, and I think he's got some straw in here. Ah, yeah, this is straw. But good, we've got a nice example here of what a friendly mouse does to a bale. See how that bale's all fallen to pieces? And there's the evidentiary string there. But they chew the strings off. This is straw. So they're trying to get in the bales to nest, and in straw they're probably even looking for the little morsels of grain that's still left on the straw. But you can see how it looks kind of like, even these ones, you can see where they've snipped off all the strings. So if he goes to pick this stuff up with his jaws, it's lucky he has jaws because he still can pick it up, but he's got to grab it really tight and a lot of it could fall off. If you had a spear, because a lot of people instead of having jaws on their machinery, have a spear which pokes into the bale and picks them up that way. You can never spear that. Never. It would totally disintegrate. But that's what a mouse and a rat does. And so that's where a mesh or the plastic wrap, it's never going to stop them, but it's certainly going to make them earn their keep, because it would take a long time to chew through that mesh and the plastic. It's hard to believe that we've got enough sheep here that they will demolish all of this hay we're bringing in. Now this year, as we go into the hot spell, and the worry is always now about drought for the next 2 months, because the second and third cuts won't grow if it's a drought. The good thing is that probably this first cut will tide us through the year if need be. So I'm going to hitch a ride with Arnie over to the field and we'll watch him load up a wagon. In the distance you can see our barley field turning color. Now that we're in the field, it's just a matter of him stacking the bales on the wagons. So he does 24 bales a load. And I think he said he had 3 more loads left here, and it looks like that's about right. And then they'll all be home anyway. And the next job will be, of course, putting them away. Today is what you would call a typical haying day. Extremely hot and very sunny. It's hard to believe we're supposed to get rain tomorrow. And I know I've been talking about getting delayed by rain all the time, but you saw what the cloudy skies and stuff look like, and you could see rain coming out of them. But the rain has been really sporadic, and some people would get it, some people wouldn't. And you don't want any rain to hit your hay, so it kind of shuts you down, and it'll say that you're going to get 10 millimeters of rain and then nothing comes, or just 1 millimeter of rain comes and it shut you down, but the amounts of rainfall that have actually hit the ground have been negligible. So we have had the odd downpour that has lasted like 10 minutes, but we haven't had the constant rainfall that we need. And this is clay ground, and you can see the soil. It's solid. It's like rock right now. It's amazing anything can grow in it. It's really hard stuff. And it's starting to crack as well. So the rain that's supposed to come tomorrow, which I see no evidence of right now, is going to be a godsend to everybody. And I don't know anyone who's not hoping for rain right now. And like a day rain, 2 days, 3 days is what we're needing right now. You wouldn't want to walk barefoot through this freshly cut hay, because at the moment these stalks would impale you. They're really, really hard and solid and would go right through your feet. So I'm just going to walk over to our bean field here. And you can see it's got a really good color. So for color, you're looking for a dark green, similar to spinach. Pale green means it's not getting the nutrients it needs. So we've got a good crop of beans here, and we got a good color. But you can still see the soil right through it all. And you can see the soil is very hard, like rock. So beans actually like hot, dry weather. So they'll be liking this right now. But when you say dry, there's kind of a limit to everything. And you can see these stalks that are growing up in the bean field. That one, and there's a bunch over here. And that's actually old corn seed that would have been in the seed drill and got planted, or it could even have been left over from the cobs that wouldn't have gotten onto the combine and fell off and just grew. So corn is a really good indicator of how dry it is, I find. So if we look at the corn, see how the leaves are growing upwards and it's kind of really pointy looking? I'm going to try find a good one there. See how the corn is kind of, the leaves are kind of looking really pointy? That's a sign on corn that it's starving for moisture. And to me it reminds me of looking at pineapples, kind of prickly and pointy looking. So the soybeans don't actually show it just yet, but the corn is showing it. And if we don't get rain, the beans will stop growing. They'll go dormant. And what we need them to do is keep growing now and to cover up that soil. So if the leaves cover the soil base because they're so thick and lush, then the soil will stay moist longer because it's shading the soil. But right now the soil is very exposed, and with the exposure it's going to get this heat and drying, which we don't want on the field. So yesterday I thought, because we had so many people over grabbing hay, I thought that Arnie might have a lot of help today to make it a little easier on him. But yeah, everyone's gone now. So he's not driving all over the field to get bales. He tries to park the wagons as close to a clump as possible. So he got one clump on the wagon, but he thought the others were just too far away. So he's moved closer so it's easier and faster to load. because he's taking a stray bale with him. It's all about being as efficient as you can. In the background there, that's our barley field, and you can see how it's starting to get that golden hue now. It's doing quite well because it was planted early and it is very thick and lush, so it will be covering up the soil quite nicely, which really helps. I forgot to mention that because John's baler broke, we had set aside all that hay over there for him. You can see the windrows, quite a bit of it back there. So we thought Arnie was done working because those guys were supposed to take their portion of the hay. But now, once Arnie gets all this hay picked up, he's actually got to hook his baler back on and go bale all that stuff too. So it's extra work that he really hadn't planned on and didn't want to do. It's nighttime and we're just trying to get chores done now. We just brought the lambs over that are going to be leaving tomorrow, and he's still got a lot more bales to put away, but he's almost done. Just another busy day. Anyway, I'll post more tomorrow and let you know how it all went. And for now, I'm going to say goodnight and hope you'll join us again next time for the next day at Ewetopia Farms. Bye for now.